Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 12 Digital Dailies updates. Oh my God. Our house guests of the day are Lynn Hurst and the T of Texas. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate you guys so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info below. It's only $1 US for a holla. I am so burnt out. I'm sorry, but going from 0 digital dailies for almost a week to like 5 since last night has been a lot. Did the stream just restart? I don't know. But anyway.
Live now. Yeah, it's fine, I think.
I don't know if you guys heard that beginning part, but Lynn Hurst and T of Texas, thank you so much for being our house guest of the day. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot to go from 0 to 100. Just like the last time we had 1 million dailies dropped on us, I will disclose I did not watch all of them in their full entirety because there's just no freaking way. But we'll get there. So before we dive into the new stuff, I also want to thank our super chatter from last time, which again was forever ago, Blind Adventures. Thank you so much for your super chat. We really appreciate it. It's another great way to support our channel. So last night on the episode, we saw the conclusion of the movie Night Massacre, which turned into the movie Week Massacre. Movie Season Massacre? I don't know. But as we saw, Kayla was on the block with Avery. Kayla won the power veto, took herself down. Spicy put Elijah up in her place, and then Elijah was voted out unanimously. And I have to say unceremoniously. We didn't even get to see his eviction interview on the show. That's so sad. But then we saw Avery won HOH. She nominated Todd and Tola. She felt like that was a natural fit considering they were the two that put up her and Kayla. And it seemed like Tola was the target at first. But then it was looking like maybe Bailey would be the backdoor target. And then that shifted to Lexus. But Anthony is not just going to sit back and lose another ally. So when he heard that Lexus was potentially going to be the backdoor target, he was like, time to throw Kayla under the bus to Spicy V. And boy, did it work quickly. Like we saw in the episode, he told Spicy, hey, you remember how Elijah whispered something in Kayla's ear before he left? He told her that no one's going to be able to beat you and no one's going to, be able to stay if they're sitting next to you on the block. So that's been soaking in her mind. She's probably worried about that. So Spicy's like, well, we can't have that. So now Spicy wants Kayla out. And the episode definitely ended on a cliffhanger because we didn't get to see who won the power veto. So let's talk about these digital dailies. They put 3 up last night and then 2 today. So I did watch the first one in full last night, which honestly was kind of a mistake. Like it was unnecessary. I didn't need to do that. That was dumb. Because this one started with like right after the midnight, whatever, the movie night massacre was over. I don't even know what it's called anymore. After the movie night massacre was over. So the timestamp for the beginning of this was 3:50 a.m. And it was ages ago, like April 10th or 11th or whatever. So we see the final 8 celebrating right after Elijah's eviction. Everyone's chowing down. They don't even know what time it actually is. They were like, maybe it's like midnight. I don't know. 3 a.m. 3:50 a.m. Spicy was asking Kayla, what did Elijah whisper in your ear? And Kayla was like, I'm not going to say because like it could affect somebody's game, but she does mention it was game related. So that's kind of like the start of Kayla's downfall that we see there. Okay. So later, Anthony lets Tola know all the girls were pushing for him to go during the movie night massacre. They all wanted Spicy to put him up on the block. They wanted, what am I even thinking? They wanted Spicy to put him up as the replacement nominee. Sorry, my brain's like not totally working today. And Anthony was like, I wasn't letting that happen. So I helped convince Spicy to keep you safe. So you're welcome. Yeah. he's still working that angle with Tola, and it's working because Tola is fully with him at this point. We see Anthony and Spicy celebrate. They made it through another twist, and they feel like there is a viable path for them to make it to the end together, to go all the way to the final two. And honestly, I think that this movie night massacre really restored Anthony's faith in Spicy, because she had the opportunity here as the HOH to make a huge move with the replacement nominee, and she chose not to. I mean, putting Elijah up on the block was pretty much the weakest thing that you could choose to do in that situation. But her not going after Tola, even though all of her allies were pushing for that, I think that went a long way with him, and now he's feeling a lot better about her. Spicy is saying she will cut anyone so that the two of them can go to the final two together. I'm sure she would. Okay. The exchange I love yous. Let's move on. At one point during the first drop, Spicy, Bailey, Avery, they were all talking about how awesome it'll be to have 5 girls make it to the end together. Oh God, how things change. We'll see about that in a little bit. And then we see the house guests walk back in the house after Avery won HOH. She's HOH again. So cue up the baby talks. And I have to mention, after the HOH, Kayla pointed out to Spicy V and later also to Avery that Bailey was really pissed during that HOH competition when Anthony put her up against Avery. And Kayla was like, Bailey thinks that she's Anthony's number one. She needs to know that she's not. She was like, girl, be for real right now. Kayla, you are going to find out soon that you are not as high up on Anthony's priority list as you think. I think Bailey is actually like higher up than you. So anyway, Kayla and Lexus have a chat with Avery. And as we saw on the show, this part is still like stuff that we saw on the show, but they're pushing that Bailey should be the one to go this week. She's on to hot chocolate. She has stumbled into multiple meetings. And Kayla's like, that's dangerous because if she wins HOH, she might put 2 of us up on the block. The crazy thing is, I don't think Bailey has any idea that hot chocolate's a thing. And she has walked in on multiple hot chocolate meetings. But anyway, Kayla is wondering, do you think that Bailey was the one who convinced Todd to put Avery up during the massacre because she knows about hot chocolate and she didn't want to be the one to take the shot at us? She used Todd to do her dirty work. No. How would she have even communicated that to him with the way that twist worked? But also, like, no, that's not how it went down. If anything, Todd was motivated by Tola to put Avery up on the block. He went in there, saw Kayla up, and was like, all right, I'm going to put Avery up next to her. This is something that had already also been discussed by Tola and Todd, that they wanted to put the girls up there. So, yeah. Anyway, as we saw on the episode, Kayla and Lexus want to see Bailey backdoor this week. But from this conversation, at this point, Avery was not really receptive to it. Don't forget, Avery has a final 3 with Spicy and Bailey, and she seems like semi-serious about it. It's hard to tell if Avery is favoring hot chocolate or Bailey more at this point. We will get some answers on that in a bit, but yeah, at that point, Avery was like, no, I don't think I want Bailey up on the block. Okay. So now let's talk about the April 12th Digital Daily. Honestly, I pretty much skipped this one entirely because we saw it on the show. We saw the important stuff on the show. Avery nominates Todd and Tola for eviction. We know that Kayla was gunning hard for Bailey to be the backdoor target this week. Let's move on because we have like 3 other dailies to get through. So the April 14th Digital Daily. This one starts after or as the house guests are walking back in after the POV competition. So just a reminder, the players for this comp, we've got the 2 nominees, Todd and Tola, and then we have 3 extra players, Kayla, Bailey, and Lexus. So they were all wearing like these hazmat or like space suits. I don't know, some sort of like a jumpsuit situation. And it sounds like this competition was another puzzle of some sort. So we find out that Bailey won the power veto. She's been close quite a few times, and now she finally locked it in and won. I mean, she won the safety thing too during the twist, but this is like an official competition. I have to say, it's refreshing to see so many of the competitions this season be won by women because BBUS could never. So that is nice to see. But with Bailey winning the power veto, there goes Kayla's plan. And of course, Kayla was all over Bailey, like, oh my God, you won. Like, that's so great. So after her big win, Bailey and Spicy are celebrating. And Spicy says to Bailey, you need to know, you really needed to win this one. So this was a clutch win for you. Bailey asks, all right, who's going this week? And Spicy says, it's going to be either Lexus or Kayla. Probably Kayla. Spicy says Kayla really needs to go. She says, I had a great conversation with Anthony, which is the one that we saw on the show that happened before the veto competition, where Anthony was like, Elijah told Kayla that Spicy no one will ever beat Spicy, blah, blah, blah. That conversation. So yeah, Spicy tells Bailey, feel free to use that veto on Todd. We'll get Kayla up there. And not only do they want to turn on Kayla at this point and get rid of her, they want to blindside her with this replacement nomination. And do you not want to get any jury votes? Like, what? I don't understand why you do that to your own ally, but here we are. So Bailey and Avery are celebrating, saying this is so great because either Tola or Lexus will be going. At this point, Avery is not fully on board with the plan to take out Kayla. She is still having it in her head that it's going to be like either Lexus or Tola. Bailey also not super into the Kayla idea. Bailey says apparently Spicy has some dirt on Kayla. I didn't get the full story yet, but she's like, would it really make sense for us to take Kayla out right now? The guys, if they win HOH next week, they would target Kayla before they come after us. Also, if Kayla wins HOH, she's going to target those guys. So, like, it's a win-win for us if she stays. Also, Bailey would prefer to see Lexus go this week because she feels like no one's ever going to go after Lexus. Tola, Anthony, if they win, they're not going to be putting Lexus up on the block. So, honestly, what Bailey is saying makes a lot of sense. But, people aren't going to listen. So Spicy and Avery have a chat in the storage room. And I honestly think that this was like the turning point that got Avery on board with the plan to take out Kayla, because Spicy was like, all right, I talked to Anthony. He let me know that Kayla is playing both sides. She would take any of us out at any time. She is ready to shoot first at us. And Spicy says, Anthony told me if Kayla goes up on the block, it's going to be unanimous for her to go because everybody wants her out. If she didn't win the veto during the movie night massacre, she was going. Also, some little tidbits that Spicy got from Anthony. Kayla was asking Anthony if he trusts the girls. Spicy seems to think now that Kayla is trying to get some sort of side alliance going with Lexus and Tola, which is just like insane. I mean, I will say she's been trying to talk more to Lexus, mostly because she was trying to get Bailey out this week. But I think she was also trying to bring Lexus back into the fold now that Matt is gone. But like, use your brain. Why would Tola put Kayla up on the block if he was working with her? That just doesn't make sense. Things are not adding up here. But Spicy is convinced if Kayla wins HOH, we're effed, right? She's going to come after us. So she's also pushing that Kayla is going to win this whole thing because she's just so good at everything. She's good at comps. She's got a good social game, this, that, and the other thing. So then after this conversation, Spicy checks in with Anthony and she's like, all right, Avery, just like that, is already down to get rid of Kayla. So when you talk to her, just drive it home and we can do this. We're good. So let's change gears here a little bit. Bailey and Todd have a chat, and Bailey has the wonderful news for Todd that she will be using the power of veto on him. So Todd is super grateful to hear this. Bailey is asking, is it safe to keep Tola? Like, am I going to regret this? And Todd's like, no, Tola, you're good with him. He is not targeting you. You've put in the work. You guys have a good thing going. if Tola wins HOH, he would target either Avery or Kayla. So Bailey, that's good enough for Bailey. She's like, all right, cool. Bailey and Todd at this point want Lexus to go because, like I mentioned earlier, nobody else is going to try and take Lexus out. So just do it now, get it done, and they can still work with Kayla a little bit and let somebody else take her out. That's all fine and dandy. Then they were talking about how they want to go to the Final Four with Spicy and Anthony. No, stop. Why? Why would you say that? Why would you want to go to the Final Four with the two All-Stars? It just doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why are you doing this to me? So that was disappointing. Anyway, Anthony and Lexus have a chat. And Anthony spills to Lexus that the girls were pushing for her to be backdoored this week. And he was like, we can't have that. You know, you're welcome. Again, also me, because I saved you here. I'm making sure that Kayla is the target instead of you. So he gives Lexus her marching orders. He's like, you need to go talk to Spicy and push that Kayla should be the one to go with this week. And he basically feeds Lexus all of her lines, right? He's like, tell Spicy that Kayla's been talking to you a lot, and that's going to freak her out because she's going to think that Kayla is trying to like set up another alliance. Talk about how Kayla's been bringing up jury votes and mentioning that, you know, we need to look out for people who have won a lot of competitions already. Avery has won 2 HOHs now. You know, make it seem like Kayla's nervous that she won't be able to beat Avery in the end. Of course, mention the Elijah thing, what Elijah said to Kayla before he left. And also, you know, pepper in there that you don't have any hard feelings about the Matt situation. Right. Okay, so Lexus, of course, goes and does Anthony's bidding, delivers her lines to Spicy, and Spicy's like, she's just eating it all up, right? She's already on board for Kayla to go. This just reinforces it. So after Spicy talks to Avery again, and she's just, you know, pushing that Kayla has to go. She says, I just talked to Lexus. Lexus is a real one. She just told me all this information about Kayla. And she said that Kayla told her that you have to go since you've won 2 HOHs. So then Avery's like, oh, what? So yeah, she wasn't happy about that. The next scene that we see is Avery telling Anthony, like, I need to get your opinion on this. Like, I'm worried about Kayla. Of course you are. So she says, Kayla has changed a lot since Matt left, and not in a good way. She says, Kayla is playing both sides. She's like, you know, distancing herself from me and Spicy. She's wanting to keep Tola even after he put her up on the block. Also, Kayla seems to believe that Todd was the one who put her up and not Tola. Girl, come on. He straight up admitted that he did it. Avery says, I'm really disappointed by Kayla. I didn't think that she was going to play us like this. She's not. They're making stuff up. They're not completely pulling things out of the air, but like they are twisting some words. They are taking some liberties here with what Kayla's been saying. So Anthony says Kayla's been doing too much. She is addicted to having power. Okay. And Anthony says that within the Hot Chocolate Alliance, he is rocking with Avery and Spicy. He says, Lexus, she can't do anything for me. Lies. Okay. Of course, he's super tight with Spicy. But like, you're really going to try and tell me that he's closer to Avery than he is to Lexus? I don't think so. He knows that he has Lexus, right? She will do anything that he says in this game. Avery, a little bit more of a wild card. So anyway, he's just trying to reel Avery back in. And honestly, it's working at this point. So then the rest of that daily, we've got more repetitive conversations about why Kayla needs to go. And Avery's just like, what is Kayla even doing right now? She's going to look like a clown. Says the girl who's about to put up her own ally. She is straight up getting Vivek'd and she doesn't even realize it. Remember what Avery had to say when Vivek put Dennis up on the block? And she was like, Vivek just trashed his own game. You're doing the exact same thing right now. And it's wild to watch. Also, a lot of people being like, Kayla's trying to pit the girls against each other. Again, you are about to put Kayla up on the block. Like, what are you doing? So, Anthony and Spicy, they see their goal within reach to get Kayla up on the block. They're celebrating. They're so pumped that they were able to convince everyone that Kayla should go. And Spicy says, like, not only are we getting what we wanted, but we made everybody think that this was their idea, right? Which again is just so funny because, like, does Spicy really not realize that that's exactly what Anthony did to her? The only reason why this is happening is because Anthony did not want to lose Lexus this week. So he was like, I need to throw out somebody else to keep Lexus safe. And that is exactly what he did to Spicy to get her on board with this. He made it seem like it was like her idea. Is too much. So Spicy says, moving forward, it's actually good for them to keep Todd and Tola because the girls are going to target those guys before they come for us. And Spicy's like, I don't want to win the next HOH. There's no need for that, right? We're not in danger right now. And I don't want to have to be the one to go after Todd or Tola. And then this is really messed up. She says that doing that would be the R word, which is just so unacceptable. And I honestly have reached my limit with her after that. That's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like, it's 2024. Why are we still using the R word? Like, that's such a hurtful word. And I really hope that production is going to say something to her. We had this whole thing last season with BBUS, with Jared using that word. And supposedly Big Brother had their zero tolerance policy. And then did nothing about it. I don't know what Canada's rules are regarding that. I haven't heard anything about the zero tolerance policy, but it's just unacceptable and she can go. Like, I'm done with her. So yeah. Spicy also told Anthony, I feel like Bailey and Todd are really with us. They want to work with us. And Anthony is feeling pretty good about those two. So I'm sorry. It's just so deflating when you hear people use that kind of language, and it just makes me like not want to watch anymore. All right. So later, they had the POV ceremony, and Bailey used the power veto on Todd as planned, and then Avery put Kayla up on the block. Ooh, and it was a blindside. So we've got Kayla versus Tola, and Kayla's like to Avery, "Can we go talk?" So Kayla asks, "What happened? What's going on here?" Very calm, but wanting to know what happened. So Avery's like, "Well, I've heard from both Lexus and Anthony that you want me out. You want people out who have won HOHs. Spicy and I have won two." Did Spicy actually win two? She was kind of given one, but that's for another day. So hearing this, Kayla's like, "You're lying. I've never said that. Like, they didn't say that to you." And Avery's like, "No, they did. And Tola told me that as well." And she says, "I believe them." What is it with this season and like trusting the word of people that you're not even that close with over your own like super close ally, and you don't even approach them about it, you just throw them up on the block? What is that? I don't know. But Kayla is like, well, let's call these people in here right now. Let's see what they have to say. So Kayla basically calls a house meeting. Everybody gathers in the living room. And Kayla's just like, what the hell, guys? Like, what's going on? Avery says, I'm just going off of what I was told. Lexus says, Kayla, you have basically had a hand in everyone leaving so far. And Kayla's like, well, I never said that I want Avery out. I never said that I want Spicy out. But then, like, things kind of take a turn. Lexus and Bailey are calling her out for trying to get Bailey out this week. I mean, she was definitely trying to do that. You could tell that Kayla was so badly wanting to explain that she was fine with Bailey going because Bailey is not a part of the Hot Chocolate Alliance. But she was doing everything she could to not expose that alliance. Not once did she bring up hot chocolate during that whole meeting. She kept it on the down low. But yeah, Bailey was pretty pissed that Kayla was just willing to throw her under the bus like that, and she didn't really have a good explanation for why. So Spicy also brings up, you told everyone except for me what Goose said. She says, that hurt me, sis. It's actually trauma for me. She also says, you kept it in your back pocket to use it as ammo against me. I mean, some of these things are definitely true, but some of them also are twisted. Bailey says, Kayla, you're working with everyone. I mean, everyone's working with everyone at this point. It's everybody's playing this game. Yeah, Anthony was like, you told me that Spicy was going to be hard to beat in the end. And Kayla's like, yeah, I said that. And you agreed with me. And he was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, tell you no, that's unacceptable? I mean, you could have, I don't know, could have said something. But Spicy says, you've been planting seeds to put targets on me and Avery just to protect yourself. Kayla is vehemently denying this. She is also openly talking about like there being opposing sides in the house and like the other side this, the other side that, which I feel like is kind of a lot. I mean, you're definitely drawing the lines here. I mean, everybody knows that they're there, but like to say it out loud is kind of like, whoa. Also, whenever anybody would bring anything up, Kayla was like, no, 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 no. So yeah, that's the house meeting. Let's talk about April 15th's Digital Daily. This starts with the house meeting pretty much like breaking up. Also, like we saw audio of, I think it was Bailey, Todd, and Tola. Sorry, we saw visuals of Bailey, Todd, and Tola talking, but we heard the audio of Anthony, and it was Dogalucci gloating, going through his same tired old routine that we've heard so many times already. Going through the list of evictees, talking about why they had to go. Janine had my name in her mouth. She's gone. This person, blah, 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 blah. But he did say Vivek and Matt, he didn't want either of them to go, of course. And he says that Kayla has to pay for Matt going. I'm sorry, like get some new lines. This is so boring. So, yeah, after that, Kayla was having a lot of conversations trying to clean up all this mess. And honestly, it didn't seem like she was getting anywhere. I did skip a lot of this because it was just very tedious and repetitive. At one point, Kayla did ask Spicy, Anthony, and Lexus for some advice on how she could try and explain things to Bailey without blowing up hot chocolate. She really does not want to do that. Blow it up, girl. It's over. I mean, I respect her in a way for not blowing it up, but also like blow it up. See what happens. But Lexus is like, not everything has to be answered to. So like you don't have to give Bailey the real reason for why you're okay with her going. Don't blow up our games. But Kayla says she would never put hot chocolate on blast. She just doesn't want to go home on misunderstandings, right? Like that's really bothering her because she does not want to say like she is claiming that she did not say anything like negatively about Avery or Spicy. Okay. Later, this was really sad. Kayla was crying alone in the Sunwing room and she was talking to the camera saying like, maybe I'm just forgetting, but I don't ever remember saying anything against hot chocolate. She said everything I did was for that alliance. I wanted to go to the end with them. I feel bad for her because I really do feel like she was the most loyal out of anybody in that group to the Hot Chocolate Alliance. And now she's the one here on the block. By the end of this Digital Daily, Kayla is saying she's pretty much come to terms with leaving. She says she's still going to be rooting for Hot Chocolate. She still wants them to make it to the end, even if she's not going to be a part of it. And she says, I'm not rolling over. But she said what she wanted to say, and she doesn't want to have to repeat it a million times. She's like, I want to enjoy my last few days here, basically like what Janine did. Boring. I feel like she is rolling over. I don't know that there is much that she could do in this situation, but like she could try, right? Maybe out your alliance. I don't know. Spill some tea. But then we have one more Digital Daily to talk about. I didn't take a ton of notes on this one because it was kind of like, it felt like a lot of filler. At this point, Kayla has accepted that she's leaving. She was not campaigning at all from what I saw. A few things to mention here from today's last Digital Daily. Avery kept bringing up multiple times how Canada has been awfully quiet so far. She would love like a Canada's vote or something like that. Why? Are you ready to go? I don't think you're going to like the results of a Canada's vote. So yeah, I don't know why she's begging for that so badly. I don't think it would end well for her. The rest of the Digital Daily, we had Tola teaching the girls to make dumplings. Todd and Spicy had a long, like, a what if conversation. What if this? What if that? And Anthony was playing ping pong with the 2 nominees at one point, and Kayla's leaving tonight. I just feel like this is such a dumb move for Avery. You have Tola on the block. She is Tola's number 1 target. But instead of getting rid of Tola, she is getting rid of one of her closest allies, Vivek 2.0. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. Benjamin, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, is the show filmed farther in advance than they let on? It seemed like the pre-jurors are home doing press the day after their eviction and after the movie night week. I wouldn't be surprised. I do think this season, especially, things are being shot ahead of time. Like last week, the eviction was on Tuesday, and then the movie night massacre was on Wednesday. So I don't know if they have shifted things back. I don't know if tonight's eviction happened yesterday or if it is actually from today. But yeah, it definitely the timeline is sketchy to say the least. But thank you again for the super chat. I'm hoping things will be a little bit more like back to normal. Moving forward, we'll see what happens. I think we only have like 3 weeks left, right? I don't know if we have an official finale date yet, but I would imagine it's only a few more weeks. I don't know, but I want to thank you all so much for being here. We will be back tonight for another episode recap. So I hope you all join us for that. And until then, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye.